Hi everybody, it's me Maria with Nail Nation on Facebook and Nail Nation 3000 here on YouTube. Just wanted to do a quick tutorial and how-to on how to use Spectraflair in a pure form to do designs like this. I made these two nails solid again so that I could show you how I did it, but first I want to show you how to make it. And what I used, the first time I used a palette, and this works for really small jobs, but if you're going to do something and you really want to be able to kind of come back to it and use it again, you want to use some sort of little porcelain bowl or a dampen dish. I have some Spectraflair here in this little vial, but it normally comes in a pouch like this. This is a large pouch. This is about 12 grams, and it does cost quite a bit. I will show you where I get mine from. She charges about $10 a gram with free shipping to most places in the US, and about $5 per order outside the US, give or take a couple of dollars depending on where you live, if it's outside the country. And also it's possible, depending on the area that you live in, that she may put a tracking number on it, so you would add 80 cents to your delivery cost. And what you'll need is the porcelain bowl, your Spectraflair, a brush like this one with a tip about like this. Now this brush came from Michael's. It's a Simply Simmons #1, and it's a round tip brush. And this is a natural Kolinsky fiber brush, Kolinsky sable. And this is the nail polish thinner that I used for this, and this is from Sally's. This is just a few dollars. I think it's about $4 for a bottle. And you'll need an orangewood stick or a little scoop like this to put your Spectraflair in your bowl. So what we're going to do first is make our liquid that we're going to do the design with. And I'm going to make kind of a liberal amount only because I'm going to go back and use this later. So I took one little scoop like this and I just drop it in the bowl, just like that. The nice thing about this is that the thinner evaporates quite quickly. So when this dries up, it will dry in a nice kind of film, and you can just put a few more drops of thinner in it later and it will revitalize it. And if you make it too thin, you can stir it and blow on it. It will dry up some more, and then it'll be perfect to use. So then with the one little scoop, I'm going to put a couple of drops. This comes out in drops, so I put about 5 drops in there. And then I'm just going to take my brush and mix the Spectraflair like this. And the reason you don't want to do this with top coat is because if you do this process with top coat, whatever you don't use is ruined. It will dry up twice as fast, and you really won't get the same luster and effect if you try to revitalize it. Plus it can ruin your brushes. It's not real good. And this is the Spectraflair here, and in this lighting it kind of looks silver, but it'll look like this, and it'll be about this consistency. See how you can see that? And if you notice, if I take the brush and I do this, you can see how it just kind of drains off the brush. You want it to be about that loose, like this. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to do the ring finger first and just show you what I did on the design, and this will also be just a way for you to see how to use it. So you're going to take it and you're going to press a little off the side of the bowl like I just showed you, and then you're going to take it with the tip and you're going to hold it kind of like a pencil and go from the cuticle and come up and create these little whirls with an arch in them like that. And we're going to do 4 of these, and as we do them, you're going to pull the next one up just a little further from the one below it. And these don't have to be identical in width, just similar is fine, like this. And then this one's going to come up and curve, and your last one's going to come out peekabooing from your corner, coming from the opposite direction. And you're just going to make it kind of whirl under a little bit. And the nice part about this is you can always go back and kind of fill it in. This dries almost instantly on your nail, so that's another wonderful advantage to this. And the next one, we're going to go to the corner here and we're going to swirl it up and then just create this cute little whirl here. And then you're just going to simply take the end of this and just put 3 little dots in your openings wherever is available. It doesn't have to be identical to what I did. The shape and size of your nail will kind of dictate where that goes. And that's just to kind of give it that look there. Now to do this look, it's even easier, and you can see it has little stripes on the sides there. That's the other fun part about this, is that when you do this, you can always thicken it back up or thin it out just by weighting or adding some drops. So you're going to take this and you're going to go 1 arched circle from the center cuticle towards your outside free wall, just like that. And then you're going to do another one that curves the opposite direction but kind of runs parallel to it for a second. And then you're just going to do that just like that. The nice part about these brushes and using the Spectraflair this way is it doesn't really bleed. If you get it the right consistency, it will work very much like foil paint, which is really, really nice stuff. And then you're going to add 3 dots into this center. 1 small one here, then 2, kind of in a little triangle like that. And how we did the stripes was, when it starts to get a little bit drier like this, you can take it and you can see here on the side of the bowl how it sort of doesn't run anymore. You're going to take this and you're going to get a little bit on your brush, kind of wet the brush like this, and then you're going to very, very lightly take it from the sidewall and just gently pull it across. And you're going to create these lines. And when you do this, it's going to show it just a tad thinner than it was before. So see how these are on the sides here? And the fun part about this is you can always go in and add little details, like if you wanted to put, you know, just a couple of little stripes between the whorls, even just to give it some texture, you could do that. And it would just be a fun, cute way to play with your Spectraflair. Now, the nice part about this is, see how this looks like it's all dried up and that it could possibly be ruined? It's not. You just put a couple of drops in there, and this was actually a little bit too much, but that's okay because I want to show you how this works. You can just rub your brush all along the places where it touched, and it'll bring it back down in the bowl, and you can use it again. And the nice thing is if you make it too thin, add more Spectraflair, just give it a couple of minutes and stir it. It will thicken right back up just like it did the first time. So the really great thing is you really never have to waste any of the Spectraflair at all. And you can even rinse the brush off with a little bit of thinner and clean it off that way, and then pour it back in the bowl and let it dry. And it'll just become part of your next time usage. And then all you have to do to finish this, and I want you to just see this, it's dry. Like, it dries right away. There was no, you know, having to wait and cut that out and wait for it to dry. It dries almost instantly. And you just add a really nice coat of top coat. And the great thing about this too is it's going to be stunning in sunlight, and it still looks really, really good in regular light. And that is all you have to do. Now, you do have to practice and play and get used to using it. But, you know, I think this is a really fun way to use Spectraflair. I will play with some of the other powders and things and see what else works. And another little trick I can show you before we go is that you can tint this. So what you can do, say you want some pink. You can just take something like I have here called Forget Now by Sinful. And honestly, you don't even have to put much. You can just take your brush and run a little bit across your brush here. Don't do too much or it's going to become polish. But you take it and you just drop it in like this. And what will happen is you'll get a subtle pink tone. Now, if you want this to be a little more colored, use richer, darker colors. And reds will turn pink as well. So this will just have like a faint pink tone to it. But if I want it to be darker, I can just simply take a red like this one, put a drop in there, and this is Stella by Zoya. I just wanted to show you this. You can take a little more, and because we're using thinner, it's a really awesome, you know, process because the polish kind of becomes part of your formula. Just don't use too much because you don't want this to become a pasty polish like fluid. And this will thin up just like it did without the polish in it if you don't use too much, and it just requires a little extra stirring. So that's how you can color your Spectraflair solution, and this is a nice way to create designs and do more detail work that is a pure Spectraflair tone. So hopefully this was helpful. I'm including the link to Facebook on here for the Nail Nation page, and I'm also going to include to you the email for Lori Hill, who is the supplier for the Spectraflair, and I will tell you she is the cheapest and most reliable and fastest vendor for this product that I have found. I have researched it. It normally sells for a minimum of 2 grams per order at $35 a gram, and then they want about $6 to ship it. So it's kind of exorbitant in cost, and so her $10 to $12 a gram costs with the free shipping and the $5 to $7 shipping is amazing. So definitely place your orders with her. I will include her email. Simply email her your order and address, and you can pay her through PayPal with that same email. And of course, if you do pay through PayPal without emailing her first, you really need to include in the comments your name, your address, the order that you want. And if you're outside of the U.S., you need to give her all of your information up front, your postal codes and all of that good stuff as well. So hopefully this was helpful, and thank you so much for watching.